What should I do if USCIS returns my immigration application? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. In today's video, we're going to talk about when USCIS decides to reject your application and what you should do about it. Now, one of the things that longtime watchers of my videos understand is that you need to file the strongest case possible. You need to make sure that all of your documents are completed correctly and completely. You need to make sure that you have submitted all of the evidence that's required in order to get the case approved. So if it's a naturalization application, that you're showing that you are a lawful permanent resident for the requisite amount of time and that you are a person of good moral character. If it's a case for a marriage-based green card, obviously you're going to need a lot more evidence. You're going to need a lot more forms to fill out, and there's a lot that you need to do to submit the application properly. But despite our best efforts, sometimes applications come back in the mail, and this is really frustrating because you know how long the delays are at USCIS, and you never want to have the delays be because of something that you did or did not do correctly. So when you file that application and then you get it back in the mail, sometimes 6 weeks have gone by, 8 weeks have gone by, and you find yourself scratching your head trying to figure out why did they reject it. A lot of times they will just include a cover letter that says this application has been rejected. Sometimes there's a clue as to why it's been rejected, but usually they don't tell you. Usually you're left to fend for yourself to try to dig through the application page by page and see what's missing. And people have come to us after having had their applications rejected, and a lot of times it's very difficult to figure out exactly what's wrong. Sometimes it's a matter of there being a simple signature missing, or there might be a different color piece of paper that was used that shouldn't have been used, or they don't like the filing fee. They say that you didn't submit the right filing fee. One time that we see often cases getting returned is when there's a question about whether or not the person has to pay a biometrics fee. Very young applicants for lawful permanent residence or very old applicants for green cards oftentimes don't have to get their fingerprints taken and don't have to pay the biometrics fee. Well, this causes great confusion at USCIS. So if you receive your application in the mail, no matter what kind of application it is, you need to go through it, like I said, page by page. You need to read over everything that you've submitted. You need to try to read over the rejection notice and see if you can make heads or tails of it. See if you can figure out what it is exactly that they want to have happened and what you can do to fix it. Now, the interesting thing is when you get your application back, many times there's already been a case number assigned to it. The check might still be attached. The check might even be endorsed on the back. And you're really talking about just fixing one or two things. But you need to send the entire application back along with whatever correction. So let's say that you forgot to sign your I-45. You would need to sign the I-45 and tag it and include a cover letter. Now, one thing that's going to be really important is you want to document that you send it back. You want to have proof that you send it back to them in a timely fashion. So make sure that whatever you do, you send it by Federal Express or UPS so that you have proof that you returned the returned application back to them as quickly as possible. You want to have proof of delivery, and you want to scan in everything that you sent. Not only the first time you send it, but whatever you send back. You need to send it all back to them, and you need to keep a record of what was sent back and forth each time. Hopefully you'll get it all sorted out and be able to quickly identify it. If you can't figure out why your application has been rejected, you might want to talk to an immigration lawyer or law firm that knows how to put applications together and knows what to do when applications get rejected. Like I said, sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's complicated. Sometimes USCIS thinks there's a legal impediment to you getting the immigration benefit that you're seeking, and that's why they send it back. They might say that you aren't legally free to marry or that you haven't submitted the right birth certificate. They could send it back for many, many reasons. Now, a lot of times people do get frustrated, and I understand that because you lose months and months of time dealing with this delay. But at the same time, it's better than them cashing the filing fees and then later rejecting the case outright. That they have done that sometimes, but they do seem to try to send it back and give you the check back and not keep your money when they can. Sometimes it's only later that they figure out there's a defect in your case. So if you've gotten your case rejected and you can't figure out why, and you're looking to have an attorney take over your case, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. We have a Facebook group with thousands of members in there talking about the immigration process and their own individual journeys in there. Feel free to join us in there. That is called Immigrant Home, and you can find it on Facebook. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get updates whenever we make videos like this one. And then be sure to tune in live when we do our Immigration Answers live show 3 or 4 times a week, where I answer as many of your immigration law-related questions as possible. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.